This is the Cool Photo Tools Podcast, episode number 84, September 12th, 2016.
Are you sick of trying to learn all the new photo software? Are you tired of hearing about the next big thing in photography? Well, neither are we. Welcome to Cool Photo Tools with Jay Piersdorf and Rhonda Spencer.
Today's program is brought to you by Skillshare. For a limited time, get 3 months of Skillshare Premium for just 99 cents. Anyone can take an online class, watch video lessons, and create projects. Over 4,000 premium classes. Go to coolphototools.com/Skillshare for your discount code. That's coolphototools.com/Skillshare. Good morning, cool heads. Welcome to another exciting episode of Cool Photo Tools. All the way in the back of the room is Rhonda Spencer.
Here I am.
Co-host,
Hello.
co-host and
Yeah.
cynic about photography in all forms and paying subscriptions, particularly to Adobe.
Yeah, it's true. Hear that, Adobe? I'm
Pretty
still
much,
holding out.
Yeah, that's why they don't send us free stuff anymore.
Oh, gosh. I'm sorry, Jay.
No more free subscriptions for you.
No.
Not until that Rhonda Spencer changes her ways.
Yeah. It's like, okay. I'm so sorry.
So did you get your new camera yet?
No.
Yeah.
No. Now, see it? Still right there. Look.
Yeah, there it is again.
This is going to be my standing joke for a while. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is a running gag.
Yes, sorry.
So Rhonda gets her camera ordered.
I'm sorry. What can I say?
Well, it's ordered. You just probably haven't. They won't send it to you until you pay for it, I suppose. Doesn't matter if you have it ordered. Like, need to complete the rest of that transaction. We need that credit card number.
We need the final.
All right. Well, let's get rolling because we have a ton of stuff, and I don't know that we're going to make it through.
Okay.
So we're going to talk really fast. First up, we got the Landscape Pro. Landscape Pro. This is from Landscape Pro Pics. LandscapePro.pics. LandscapePro.pics. Somebody used the .pics URL extension.
I tell you.
The first one I've seen. Well, there you go. So this is a software program, and this helps you.
So is .pics different than Studio One?
Yeah. I mean, this is .pics is like .com or .net.
No, I was just wondering because there's the Landscape Pro Studio software that I own.
Well, I don't know. This looks. You tell me. See, I can have all these before and after examples.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like it just kind of is a. It helps you adjust it if you're clueless about how to adjust your landscape photos on Lightroom or Photoshop. This will help you. I think I could do this myself, but maybe if you had a lot of them to do, I don't know. So anyway, I brought that up here. Let's see, how much does this stuff cost? Landscape Pro. It handles raw files directly. Oh, Landscape Pro Studio. Is that the one you're talking about?
That's the one I have.
Oh, that is, I don't know. Is that an upgrade? Oh, well, Landscape Pro Studio is normally $119.90, but they have it on sale for half off if you act before they change their mind.
Right.
Yeah. So that is the one you have.
That is the one I have. That's the one I got on my screen right now.
Well, let me switch over to there.
See, there it is.
Okay.
There it is.
So I guess we should be talking to Rhonda about this.
Oh, I haven't used it enough to really talk to me about it.
All right, let's move ahead then.
I was going to drag left to right to see example.
So you own this, but you haven't actually used it.
Well, not enough that I can say I'm fluent in it. Let's put it that way.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so, okay. Oh, yeah, okay, bring my screen back up.
Your screen's already up there.
Is it? Oh,
It doesn't do anything for the people that are listening to us on audio only.
You can't see what I'm doing. So we're looking at an image of a rock with ocean and water and sky. So it shows you that you take like the sky, little icon, and drop it over on the sky. And then you drop this part like over here on the sky. And then let's see.
So you're dropping a little tag that just says a little word that says sky.
It is. And then let's find one that doesn't say plant, tree,
There's one
mountain.
that says rock there on the bottom left.
Well, you think that's rock or ground?
What's it? Well,
All right, we'll take rock.
I don't know.
And we'll take
software.
And, I know. And we'll take. Well, we're going to find out exactly what this does. It's supposed to be very easy. Where's water on here? It's got to have water.
This is a unique
Oh, there's
model. This
water.
is way different than Photoshop or Lightroom.
Yeah. All right. So now we've got all that in, and we're going to hit continue.
Oh, so it
So-
auto masked.
It auto masks.
'Cause
So
the sky is red and the rock is green and the water is blue.
okay. So it looks like we need to do a little fine tuning
Yeah,
here.
'cause
So
it wasn't perfect.
Let's put water here,
Oh, that's pretty
and
dang
let's
good.
take and put water here. Water here.
Of course, in all fairness, this is a fairly simple scene.
Yeah, this is a very simple scene. I need to bring water up. Water. Why is water not finding here?
Yeah, see. Okay,
See, it's
so,
not finding water here. So let's hear.
But there's a brush. I'm sure you can correct that.
I'm sure.
you know.
So, but we're just going to go really quickly on this.
So you could do this in Photoshop. If you're a
You
Photoshop
could.
whiz, you could do that. Mm-hmm. Don't let you do that fast.
So, blur, sky. Let's hit that.
So this is kind of a
Yeah,
different outside the box way of enhancing your images.
Right.
This is Landscape Pro, and they have a trial version. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I should check this out.
You change your.
Oh, there you go. See, now there's the horizon line.
Yeah.
That's what you needed to do. So you just don't know how to use this.
No, that's why I said I haven't used it enough that I can say that I'm.
Well, go home and do this, and then come back when you've got it figured out. And
Okay,
show us.
and I'll bring you back. But yeah, okay.
So then once you have it masked, now you can switch out that
Continue.
sky.
Yes, you should be able to like change backgrounds and stuff like that too. So, yeah, Rhonda isn't proficient in this yet, but I do like these programs.
I get the idea, though. I can
Yeah.
see. I
Yeah.
can see it's pretty interesting. All right. Well, let's move ahead.
'Kay.
And this comes from the news. This has been a few weeks now, but I thought we would just kind of bring this up just so we could just, get our 2 cents in on it. Brooks Institute.
Oh,
It's gone out of business.
wow.
Do we have a moment of silence for Brooks Institute?
We have a moment of silence for their
Apparently
poor
not.
students.
Rhonda's going to talk through my moment of silence.
Yeah, I am. You know
Okay,
why?
Skip it then.
You know why I'm talking through your moment of silence?
Why?
Because the students that were in like their last year, they just dropped, and they didn't give them any type of accreditation that can be carried over to another college.
So they didn't get
And
their certificate
they didn't get
of graduation?
anything.
They're
No,
like,
it was like,
oh, I went to Brooks Institute before they went out of business.
yeah, it was just like, okay, you gave us your money and it's too bad. Sorry, we're done.
That is too bad.
It was too bad. I read several different things of people saying, hey, I'm in my last year. What are we doing here? And you're not sending over or validating my school time with another school or another institute, or even saying that I ever went or did anything. So they just kind of got the big wazoo. That's terrible.
Well, there's a bigger question going on here now. Speaking of Brooks Institute, to show you how old I am, I went to the Santa Barbara campus and learned negative retouching there. Okay, so
Is that like positive retouching or just
now
negative?
it's like there's these orangey things that came out of cameras. That's how we used to have to retouch zits.
Really?
Was negatives, yeah. And then we could do some
Wow.
on the prints as well. But we didn't have Photoshop. Are you kidding? This was back in the film days. This we had dinosaurs. It was woolly mammoths and
They were carving things on rocks and
saber-toothed
saying,
cats.
"Look at that."
This was way back in the Stone Age. Well, they had been in business for 70 years. So that was a long run. But I think this speaks of a bigger problem. They're saying, well, we had declining enrollment. We couldn't continue. We didn't have any.
They had really declining it. Did you see what their numbers were?
Yeah, it was like
It's
2008.
huge.
They had like 2,500 people, and then that wasn't even that long ago. And now it's like,
It was
What
like
was it?
500,
yeah, it's way
600.
down.
It was
So,
like huge.
yeah, very very difficult to maintain. That's cool. So the really now, of course, the bigger question is if you want to learn how to be a professional photographer, you can't do this anymore. You can't really go to a school like this. So now you're going to have to learn off of YouTube, or you're going to have to apprentice with somebody. You're going to have to join lynda.com and watch the tutorials. You're going to have to subscribe to our podcast and, wait till we give you a moment of a nugget of information. I don't know. How are you going to become a pro anymore? Maybe we don't need pros. Maybe camera phones are that good. Everybody's a photographer. We don't need this. I don't know. What do you think?
Oh,
I stumped Rhonda. There was a
No.
moment of silence.
No, I just read an article about that. Do you have to go to school to become a photographer? And
No, you
it's
don't.
Pretty much, no, you don't.
It's not like being a doctor.
No, it's not like being a doctor. Develop your own style. Get the right software.
Yeah, it's
It's like that's pretty much it.
because you don't require formal training. I think it makes it harder to convince maybe people to go to a school. However, I see a lot of people that should go to school,
Some sort of school, something.
and yeah, and I'm.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of because there's no license. Anybody can buy a camera.
That's true.
You don't need any training. You don't have to show a valid permit. They'll sell a camera to anybody.
Yeah.
So, and I think if you look at the bulk of work being done out there, it reflects that. So
Well, true, especially that people are finding more and more that they hire someone that is touting to be a wedding photographer, and then they're saying, "Oh my gosh, did you see what my pictures turned out looking like?" It's like, well, maybe you should have done a little bit more research on what the person's imagery looked like.
yep.
Plain simple.
Okay, so
So there.
a big we don't really know. It's,
Yeah.
it's interesting. Times change. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
when I went to photography school, there was a lot of stuff that was hard to learn. The chemical processes and there's still a lot of stuff to learn, but there wasn't as many ways to learn it. Now you've got YouTube, you've got lots of online courses. Back in the day, there wasn't that kind of stuff. You didn't have any of those resources to help you learn, so you would go to school.
Well, that and today with digital cameras, the learning curve is a lot shorter. I mean, before, when you had film, you would have to go out and shoot, take notes on what you did, go and develop it, come back, look and see if it worked. Now, the learning curve is so short, you go out with your camera and you put it on F4 and take a picture, and put it on F8 and take a picture, and take a picture with an F11, and you can look right there and learn to see what the camera has done.
That's true. You get more
it's-
feedback.
yeah,
But,
much
otherwise
quicker.
you were like, you went out and did the best you could, and then you went into the lab, and a few hours later you discovered that you didn't know what you were doing
Yeah,
at all.
yeah, and go out and do it again.
Yeah, let's try that again.
you didn't achieve what you were looking for.
And now you can immediately see you don't know what you're doing
Yeah,
right away. You
Well-
don't have to wait at all. It's like, wow, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm clueless.
yeah. Well, like we said with the blind critique thing we were talking about the other week,
Yeah.
that's the one thing that people need to take the time and study is composition. That still hasn't ever gone away.
Yeah, composition is pretty much go take a class on painting.
Yes, there
Painting,
you go.
drawing.
I think that would help most
They make
photographers.
the best photographers. I think painters and drawers.
Drawers, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's move ahead.
All right.
I see you have something really interesting on the screen here.
Yes, and made kind of by the same company we were talking before that did the Landscape Pro. This is Portrait Body Pro.
Portrait Pro Body. This is the guys that made
yes.
the retouching stuff for your face.
Yes.
That
And
could
the
do
landscape, they're-
That's the same company?
Yeah, I think
And
they're
did
all part of the same
sculpting,
company. Mm-hmm.
you could reshape faces and all that. And if you did, like prom pictures or school portraits, man, Portrait Pro could really save you some time by finding the faces and minimizing zits and things.
Oh my goodness, yes. And
pimples.
this does all sorts
So
of
this
stuff.
is Portrait Pro Body. This is for
Right. This is for
sculpting your body.
Well, yeah,
essentially.
because
Why go to the gym?
Well, exactly. Watch that. Some of these is like it's amazing that you see what they do. And it's as much or as little as you want.
Yeah, well, at least you have some control.
Yeah.
So here, if you want to sculpt or reshape a body and be criticized for it mercilessly in publications,
That's
you could do
true.
it with these controls. Now, I'm as a professional photographer, and going to sell something to my clients. I'm wondering, we've never really had this capability before, so I'm wondering, are you going to have to work with your client to see how far they want to push this? Because some clients are like, yeah, I need some retouching. Are you kidding? If I got it, retouch it. And other clients are like, no, I really worked for those wrinkles, so just retouch a little of them so
That's
that I'm
true.
not so aware. Or like, no, cellulite is a normal part of growing up, so don't touch my cellulite. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, it depends. Like if you take a wedding photo and say between the girl's back and her dress, she has a big, huge bulge, and that happens to women that even aren't necessarily heavy. To pull it in a bit, I don't think would be a bad thing.
Yeah, and the Liquify filter in Photoshop we've always kind of used it for some of that. Mm-hmm. So this is a faster method to
Much
do more
faster.
sophisticated sculpting.
Yeah.
And some of the examples that they're showing, that there is a woman in a bikini or bikini type underwear that they probably have resculpted her to take maybe 30, 40 pounds off of her, maybe more.
Yeah.
They made her much thinner. And very convincing.
Right.
It looks completely. They've reshaped the waist on this one girl. Again, kind of Liquify here. There's
It's just much quicker.
Oh, they made that woman taller. It stretched your spine.
Yeah, this one they make her a little bit taller too. So.
Oh yeah, that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
When you're trying to do non-realistic. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you on this one. I'm lost.
Well, we're kind of a society anymore that we like to look perfect, And believe it or not, the expectations of the photographer is to make the person look the best that they can make them look.
Okay, now one example that they just showed on there is a woman's bare back where she has acne.
Yes.
A lot of acne on her skin. And in just a few
Strokes.
brush strokes, they were able to make that smooth that off.
Yeah.
So, that's, I can see that. That's being useful if you're doing a lot of swimming suit or, probably boudoir type portraits. This would be very useful for you to use because that would be appropriate, I think, to sculpt in those situations. Portrait Pro Body.
Yeah.
At portraitprobody.com. All right.
Yeah. Something new to play with.
So speaking of things that help photographers,
Yeah.
there is a bunch of websites that produce for sale Photoshop actions, overlays, texture overlays that help, I would say probably new to photography, or people that don't have maybe that much experience with Photoshop, to get different looks, to help them come up with different professional looking backgrounds or colors or effects to their portrait type work. So I just thought I would mention a few of these companies because they do have some pretty interesting stuff, and I'll just leave it to you on whether or not you want to subscribe to this. I think these are done pretty well. First one up is paintthemoon.net. And paintthemoon.net has a whole bunch of different effects, light bokeh, sun flares, actions, textures, presets, and stuff that they make.
They're a little expensive, though.
And Rhonda says they're expensive. How expensive are they, Rhonda?
Comparable to some of the others.
Well, I've got a bunch of them here, so just give us you have a price ballpark here you want to tell me?
I think that they run about $199.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I think that's in the ballpark. But again, you could make that up in one portrait session if it was something that really improved your stuff here. All right. So the next one up I got is Greater Than Gatsby.
I haven't heard of them.
GreaterThanGatsby.com. Greater Than Gatsby. We'll put links to these in the show notes. And again, Photoshop actions, Lightroom presets, tutorials and stuff. These are all kind of in the same ilk as far as here's a presets bundle for $195. Here's one for $495, but it's got 700 unique actions. If you have 700 Photoshop actions, how do you know what they all do?
You wouldn't be able to keep track of what they all do.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Anyway, this is a lot of people, like this one. Here's another one, littlelusker.com.
I haven't heard of that one either.
See, that's why we're here.
Thank you. Just
make you aware of all this stuff.
Well, I thought I was pretty well versed in this.
No, well, see, you're sleeping in Dusseldorf over there.
I think so.
All right, so littlelusker.com, littlelusker.com. Again, they have a Photoshop actions and that kind of stuff. You'll have to check these out. I don't know that one's any better than any other. They're kind of different. See if you find one that has the effects that think the way you think. And while we're rolling through this, FloraBellaCollection.com, FLORABELLA collection.com. You see, these are all kind of in the same genre.
The thing I find with a lot of them is they all kind of look the same too.
Well, and yeah, but they're on trend, and so you want them to. You want to, you kind of want to. Subtle differences, but this is the stuff that's being run up the flagpole now that people are looking for when they're buying portraits, or family portraits, or whatnot. And again, you could probably do all this stuff yourself in Photoshop, but if you're new to it, maybe you probably couldn't do it nearly as fast as some of these actions can be applied. You can't spend 1,000,000 hours on every client. You gotta have a certain production, that you have to match to get to keep your prices in line. And I got one more, Michelle Kane Photography.com. And Kane is Kane, so it's Michelle Kane Photography.com.
And you forgot one of my favorites.
I did. Why don't you put it up on the screen and I'll switch over to it.
Right there. The Bellevue Avenue.
Bellevue Avenue. Actually, they've been on our blog before, yes. And you're right that no list would be complete without them.
That's true. And I think that they are, their pricing is very good.
Yeah, they do seem very competitive, especially if you get some of their sales.
Mm-hmm.
I've even bought a couple of their things, and I don't use them at all, but they were just so cool I had to buy them.
Well, let's see. They'll give you actually 5 essential actions for free if you just sign up and give them your email address.
Oh, yeah, see?
you don't like
I like the texture overlays and stuff. I think those are useful. The actions fatigue me.
Do they?
Just because, after you get a certain amount of them, you're like, what the heck does this one do?
They do have some, in fact,
nightmare.
I own some of these, the branch overlays and the flower,
those are
flower overlays.
I like the overlays.
Yeah. And like I said, the overlays are pretty easy. They definitely add like little extras. I even have the bubble overlays. This one was a little bit harder to learn to use, but switch over to me over here. You are me.
Well, I was on your face. You want me to look at your screen.
I want, yeah.
For those people at home, Rhonda's looking at the Bellevue Avenue screen.
That's right. And they have quite a few different overlays now.
They do have got a ton of stuff.
There
are a lot of.
And like I said, their overlays aren't horribly expensive.
Yeah, and you can buy them just specific to what you're looking for. You don't have to buy a 700 bundle for $500. You can spend $15 to $35 usually.
Right. And like I said, they've gotten much bigger with their overlays.
So if you have a favorite company that sells actions and overlays, why don't you drop us an email? Just go to coolphototools.com and click on the contact button and let us know. Did we miss somebody important or a company that you really like that we didn't talk about? We always like to find that out. And I have one more.
Okay.
I have one more coming up right here. And this is lensdistortions.com. And they make a package called Luminary. And they have distinguished glass effects. These are beautiful filters captured optically in camera that give you an organic, authentic look. So these are kind of lens flares, bokeh circles, and kind of interesting stuff here as well.
Again, great stuff for portrait photography.
Yeah, and that's at lensdistortions.com. All right, Rhonda. Got anything? Got anything you want to talk about there?
No, I was still just kind of hanging around.
Okay. Waiting for the lunch wagon.
I am. Where is the lunch? Okay. Wait a minute. Hold on. Where was it? Where'd it go? I think I closed off the one I was going to show you. Okay. No, there it is. No, never mind.
Darn. I almost got past that.
Oh, he doesn't like this. I just recently acquired the Canon 40 millimeter 2.8 f. It's called an STM pancake lens. And
so if you have a Canon DSLR, you could use this.
And it's a really inexpensive lens. It's $169 right here. It's a little thin lens and 40 millimeter, so it's fairly wide.
This is the Canon EF 40 millimeter f2.8
and
STM
it's sharp.
Pancake lens for taking pictures of pancakes.
It is, and it is sharp as a tack. It is sharp as a tack.
Now, does it do waffles?
No, but it does do pancakes. But it's a little tiny lens.
So you can this little tiny lens hanging off the front of your big honking
Off your
SLR,
big honking
the
SLR, yeah. But
Makes
like
no
I said,
sense to me.
the quality of it for $169 is huge.
So now, why would you want this instead of the 50 millimeter f1.8 for $99?
Actually, I just recently used it as a macro lens.
How close can you get?
It touts it as a macro lens. Oh, equally as like what my 100 millimeter, probably 4 or 5 inches.
Yeah, pretty close.
Not
I think,
bad.
I think you're about, aren't you about like, is it 18 inches with the 55, something like that? It's not very close, surprisingly.
Yeah. No, this one's
But
surprising.
it's a stop brighter than this one. Mm-hmm. So if you're shooting low light, and also 50 millimeters with a full frame camera is a normal lens, which tends to see things about the same size as the human eye sees. Mm-hmm. And this one is slightly wide, not terribly.
But
so why
again,
don't you bring up that picture that you shot with it?
all right, hold
While
on.
I talk about this next thing,
All right.
you can bring that picture up
I'll
and we'll go
bring
back
the
to
picture
that.
up. All right.
All right, so what I want to show you here, this is the Edelkrone Wing. Edelkrone, E-D-E. I'm going to start again. E-D-E-L-K-R-O-N-E. They make some crazy stuff. And also, I think, their stuff is, you don't just see it everywhere. It's kind of hard to find. Anyway, this is called the Wing. And what this thing is, I better switch to the screen for those of you that are watching.
Yep.
So what this thing is, it's a little thing that you can put in your camera bag. It's not very big. And it replaces a slider for video. Now, a slider is like and you've seen this a million times where the camera moves, and while you're shooting a video, the camera moves slowly from left to right or right to left. It's on a track or a wheel assembly. And, and it gives a very cinematic look. We want to see motion, even if you're looking at a landscape or a static scene. If you move the camera slowly from one side to the other, then you get this very nice effect. Now, unfortunately, sliders have been kind of bulky and hard to pack with you, and this is going to change that. If we take a look at how this thing works. Now, this shows it moving on its own, but in reality, you have to push it. It's not motorized.
Oh, yeah, that does. It gives you a wrong thing because you think that it is motorized.
Yeah, and so it keeps the camera facing forward, even though it's making a very a folded motion here. $250 fits in your camera bag. The Edelkrone Wing. These are up for pre-order.
Well, that would be really handy, especially if you were taking product photography too, and you wanted to get different angles without having to actually lose your plane.
Well, because it's making horizontal motion, I think it's going to be pretty much, you're stuck with video on this thing.
You think?
Yeah, I don't think that would be that useful because it just makes it doesn't, they've got that other product, that you can adjust up or down like a tripod, but this one's just for making that horizontal motion, and you have to attach it to a tripod, so.
And sorry, guys, you have to look at this picture
Yeah,
on Facebook because Rhonda has it on her regular.
Okay, so this is Rhonda's picture we were just talking about here.
That was done with the 40.
Okay.
And it's on my other actual desktop, but it's on Facebook.
Okay.
I liked how, like I said,
This is a flower on a barrel cactus with
Yes.
a couple flowers on the top. So what we're looking at here.
ignore that.
But flower pictures are not generally all that exciting or interesting. But Rhonda actually did a nice job on this one, and I don't know what happened.
Well, the thing that I liked about this is that, as you will notice, this is pretty sharp throughout.
Well, it is, but in all fairness, it's all pretty much the same distance from your
kind of.
lens.
Well, maybe no. Yes, no.
So what aperture did you shoot this
This
at?
is at an f13.
Okay, so yeah, you got it covered. So the Sharpman at 40
Yeah.
millimeter, you got plenty of depth of field, but that's not really what's remarkable. I don't think it's the lens that makes this picture. I think you just got the lighting right, and the composition's very nice.
Used my Lumi on it.
Did you?
I did, yeah, because this
Was it at camera level, or where'd you put it?
actually down below the flower.
Oh.
So that's why you've got the highlights on kind of the
And
inside.
was the sun or the light coming from the other side?
It was in shade.
Okay, so you have used the Lumi to kind of give the effect. Well, good. That's
Yeah, this was in shade, and so like I said, I took the Lumi from underneath so it would take all the edges and highlight them.
Oh, that's very nice, Rhonda. You did good.
Thank you.
Not like usual. And you know what time it is?
Okay, what time is it?
It's time to say goodbye for this week,
All right, guys.
because we have talked until we can't talk anymore.
We can't talk
I'm
anymore.
talking slow so that it runs the clock out to about 30, exactly 30 minutes. You know, we're always like
He's
32 minutes. I'm trying to get us down to 30 minutes.
Gone
Can't ever get
into
it that.
slow-mo.
Yeah, people would be like, what? They didn't run more than 34 minutes. What's wrong with those guys? They're sick. They're ill. They're not feeling good.
Well, guys, have a good week.
All right. If you check out the show notes at coolphototools.com. Also, you can check out our videos that we film simultaneously with the audio podcasts at youtube.com. Just go to the coolphototools.com channel. And everybody have a great week.
Have a great week.
Talk to you next time.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Cool Photo Tools podcast. Sign up for our mailing list at coolphototools.com. Got a question? Send an email or MP3 audio file to info@coolphototools.com. Thanks for listening.